Okay, lockdown live stream. Yeah, that's why I started doing these over a year ago, and we're having another lockdown. Ooh, Musical Aviator, you're very topical. You're in ISO for 14 days because you went to Swordcraft on Friday, and that's one of the identified hotspots. So I hope you're okay. Fox, you did something that might make you question your sanity and question yourself too. Well, you're clearly going to have to fill us in on that. And hello, Chris. If they just waited till the vaccines would have rolled out, wouldn't have happened. Got to reopen before vaccines come. Silly concept. It's just fucking. The federal government here has absolutely fucked up the vaccine rollout and also quarantine, which they're responsible for. And hello, Raiders and Salumi. Yeah, happy May 2021 lockdown. Oh gosh, what a world we live in. No real hardship for me. It is what it is, you know. And I understand a lot of people have real challenges with it. Fox, you went and found my Egg Boy Flip cocktail from 2019. Nice. I forget what was in the Egg Boy Flip. But in my defense, okay, for those who remember, Egg Boy was the ledge who egged fascist Fraser Anning and who said it should do a cocktail for him. And a flip is a traditional cocktail that has an entire egg in it. It makes it a very sort of creamy, custardy meringue sort of drink usually. I do remember making the Egg Boy Flip. I have no memory of what's in it. Yeah, I mean, Chris, I've had a jab, which would help, and B, I don't go out anywhere, so I should be fine. So, Fox, an Egg Boy Flip was a modified Gaelic flip. I thought I had absinthe in it, half an ounce of absinthe-infused vermouth, some simple syrup, Irish whiskey, a little bit of cherry liqueur, a whole egg. Okay, well, let me see if I can find a Gaelic flip or a Gaelic flip. There we go, Gaelic flip. So this is what I based it off. A Gaelic flip, Irish whiskey, sweet vermouth, simple syrup, allspice, and egg. So I went with absinthe-infused vermouth, simple syrup, Irish whiskey, a little bit of cherry liqueur. So the original one has 1 1/4 ounces of Irish whiskey, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, 1/3 of an ounce of simple syrup, a teaspoon of allspice liqueur, 1 egg, and grated nutmeg. There you go. Raiders, Morrison's performance in Question Time is consistently pathetic. Blame shift states, yeah, he's fine. And I was very pleased to see the acting premier and other people in the press today repeatedly, squarely saying, we're facing problems because of the lack of a federal response to quarantine and the failure of the vaccine rollout. If those things hadn't been fucked up, it would be much less a deal. So it's good to call him out. Justin, you escaped ACT government reporting quarantine requirements by 1 day. You're in Melbourne 15 days ago. You just made it, buddy. You just made it. So when I made it, I never said how much cherry liqueur and syrup. Probably only half an ounce. Oh, dear. Who knows? Who knows what I was thinking when I didn't bother to say how much was in the drink? Because these days, I'd always say what the quantities were. I've got things to taste tonight, actually. Things I haven't tasted before. New bottles. This one comes to me courtesy of Steve the bartender. Certainly the biggest Australian YouTube cocktail channel, with some of his mates got together and been distilling gin. Threefold gin, grapefruit, rosemary, lavender, aromatic gin. 3 bartenders, 3 ingredients, something truly greater than the sum of its parts. So, yeah, and I have not tried this. I did make Mrs. Angry her fitty sweet martini earlier with that, and she liked it. I'm probably going to make a dry martini with this. I also have an Australian brandy to try. Also from South Australia. This is from South Australia. Steve's from South Australia. So it's South Australian night. Possibly even the vermouth. I'm trying to remember where the vermouth comes from. Hey, Toby. How's it going? Chris is having seafood Alfredo. Nice. I said, Justin, you were at one of the exposure sites, but before it became an issue. Where's Maiden Eye come from? Maiden Eye comes from Harcourt? They use very little letters. And I am old and my eyes don't work. Hey, Luke, how's it going? No, it's Victorian. Yeah, it is Harcourt. It's Victorian. Neat. The vermouth I'm going to use. Oh, Salumi, don't struggle with motivation. Just let it go. Just kick back and relax. Toby, unsurprisingly, Celtic King wants to give everyone cuddles. We're used to it, Toby. So, I'm going to try this. Smells like juniper. It's probably gin. It does have that sort of citrus note. I've been told it was a citrus-forward gin. Grapefruit is doing that. Definitely has citrusy notes in it. Let's have a taste before I make a drink with it. Okay. Very sweet initially. Just when it hits the tongue, very sweet. Ooh, those herbal notes are coming through as it goes down though. Rosemary and lavender, very nice. Oh, this is really good. Not saying that just because I'm a Steve the Bartender fan either. It's like, this is a really nice gin. Oh, yeah, that initial sweetness and fruitiness, and then really quite delightful herbal notes as it goes down. Fuck, that's a good gin. Nicely done. The chaps at threefold. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm making a martini with that. No, I'm not going to do it dirty. I might. Normally, I like a lemon twist in my martini, and I don't have any lemon. I do have an orange. I could do an orange twist in it, which I think I will. So I'll just grab an orange. From the fruit bowl. Because I'm sophisticated, I have a fruit bowl. It's mostly got bananas in it that I have smoothies with. Right. Need a peeler. I should have got all this stuff ready before I did the stream. Where's my peeler? Okay. Why can't I find a fruit peeler? I've got several. No, that one. Ow, ow, ow. Fruit peeler in the sharp knife drawer. Kept like poking sharp knife blades. Luke, I never stopped working from home, but certainly not allowed to go into the office for the next week or so. But I've been into the office once or twice, but man, no, working from home is friggin' awesome. I'm not giving that up. Right, I need my jigger. I need to get my stirring glass ready with some ice. Ice, baby. Right. And I'm looking forward to this, actually. It's a really nice tune. Alright, just rejigging some of my ice in the freezer. Okay. Wow. Okay. Silumi, was that person coughing around the COVID areas? Which person? Did I miss something? I'm not sure what we're talking about. That was actually not that bad an effort with the ice cracking. Better than some, worse than others. The person from my Zoom call the other day, no, that was also before this outbreak. Why standing up? I didn't get my jigger. I'll put it right. So we're going. Nice cork. Let's go. Oops, it's going to be strong martini. What percentage is this? 42. So kind of average. Little just splash of vermouth. So let me, time means nothing to you at the moment. That's the world we live in. Time means nothing. It's like the start of our weird isolations and lockdowns was both 15 months ago and 5 minutes ago. I want a martini glass too. What am I doing? I'm going to be a sophisticated motherfucker. Where's martini glass? Organisation, not my strong point. But a little bit of ASMR. Man, I much prefer stirring with Gaz Regan's finger than with this goddamn spoon. Yes, Justin, this is celebrating working from home again. Celebrating the fact Steve the bartender sent me some gin. So, well, just in case there was any dust in there. And this is a fairly large volume glass, actually. All right, I'm going to put a twist in as well. That'll do. Orange twist, spritzy, spritzy. And, we're going to wipe it around the glass. And I'm just dropping it in the drink. I'm not very sophisticated with my garnishes. Cheers. Oh, yeah, boy. Oh, yeah. Love a martini. Nice. You got a Joe Biden check that translated to 1,700 Australian. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Cheers to Justin and his stimulus check. Oh my God, that's good. Just a little bit of dry vermouth just lifts the gin. And really nicely chilled. Very good stuff. I never used to like martini. It's like palate changes over time. Only a couple of years ago, if you told me I'd be drinking martinis that were almost all gin, I would have said no. I don't see that happening. But these days, yeah. Nice. So Chris has got yummy seafood Alfredo. Slimy, what to make with gin and pineapple juice? Well, I'd say a gin and pineapple juice. Let's just stick it into gin pineapple. It auto-completed into gin pineapple cocktail. Pineapple gin and tonic. Yeah, that'd be good. Pineapple gin daiquiri. Pineapple gin punch. Here we go. 3 pineapple juice and gin cocktails. What do they recommend? Pineapple gin martini. So it's 50 mils gin, 50 mils pineapple juice, 50 mils lime juice, a teaspoon of honey. I wouldn't recommend honey because honey's really hard to mix into a cold cocktail. A sugar syrup, but you could put a little bit of honey in. You just have to mix it really thoroughly. That actually sounds pretty good. Equal parts gin and pineapple juice, a little bit of lime, and a teeny bit of honey. That actually sounds pretty good. They call that a pineapple gin martini. Okay, Singapore Sling, that's classical, but that's got a lot of other ingredients in it. Or a pineapple gin screwdriver. 50 mils. Okay, yeah, that's mostly pineapple juice. So they're calling, like, because screwdriver is vodka and orange juice. So they're calling a pineapple gin screwdriver. 50 mils gin, 75 mils pineapple juice. But I saw something else that looked interesting. Gin pineapple sour. What's this? So 2 ounces gin, half an ounce of lemon, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, an egg white, simple syrup. Although, am I remembering right? You're vegan, Salumi? Animal ag cause pandemics. True. Thanks. I'm glad you love the shirt. I've actually had this one for a little while. Little skeleton hands. Safa, I agree that it's annoying that YouTube doesn't default to live chat. It does top chat, and you can forget and you miss a bunch of chat. Okay, you'll consume anything. I reckon, depending what ingredients you have, either the pineapple gin martini, which is nice and simple, 50 mils gin, 50 mils pineapple juice, 15 mils lime juice, little bit of sweetener, honey or whatever sweetener you have, or a gin pineapple sour. Again, if you have it, it's 2 ounces of gin, half an ounce of lemon juice, 2 ounces pineapple juice. Jesus, I would fucking make that actually. In fact, I have those ingredients. So gin, lemon juice, pineapple juice, egg white, and just a teeny bit of simple syrup. They're saying half a tablespoon, which I would say is about 5. Wait, that's an actual measure, half a tablespoon. What's the official? I was going to think somewhere between 5 and 10 mils. Tablespoon. 1 is 14 mils. Okay, yeah, it's between 5 and 10 mils. So half a tablespoon of simple syrup is between 5 and 10 mils. Chris, good news. You got a dental, medical, mental health appointment sorted today. That's excellent news. Cheers to that, Chris. Cheers to that. Oh, that's a really light citrusy martini. It's fucking nice. Sours are one of my favorite sorts of cocktails, Salumi. And this particular one, the gin pineapple sour. So 2 ounces of gin, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, half an ounce of lemon juice, half a tablespoon of simple syrup. So that's 5-10 mils of simple syrup, and an egg white, and put it in with that and shiki, and you get a nice foamy drink. I actually have a foamer down there. I won't use an egg. I'm going to make that one. I like the sound of it. I really like the sound of it, actually. Oh, nice, Chris. You've got pandemic insurance for your medical. Nice. Nice. That's a bit of good news. It's just like neck this martini is pretty strong, but I'm being restrained and responsible and refined and other RE words, and just sipping because it is actually maybe 2.5 ounces of gin in there, so it's sort of ease it down. Don't want to be shit-faced in the first half hour. Ooh, Salumi making kimchi fried rice for dinner. Nice. I had a bit of lasagna that young Ms. Angry made last night. She just spontaneously decided to make some lasagna, and so I had some. She's been in a cooking mood. She made a mac and cheese earlier in the week. She's been baking scones, which are super yummy. So I've just been trying to eat small amounts of these things because I'm trying to lose weight. I suppose I did 2 meal replacements today, so having a not enormous piece of lasagna is not bad after doing the 2 meal replacements. Toby, you just noticed the shirt and you're liking it. Yes, my Skeletor Hands one. I think I actually bought this a couple of years ago. I've had it for a while anyway. It's not bought from the internet, it's bought from a shop. But yeah, it's just, just because I've been fashion parading shirts, I thought, don't think I've worn this one on a live stream, so I'll wear it tonight. I'm overdue. There's like another half dozen shirts are meant to get delivered. I'm just waiting for them. They're like cocktail themed shirts mostly, so I'm really looking forward to getting them. We'll see. Luke had fish, the frozen stuff. That's fine. I eat frozen things all the time. The frozen pizza earlier in the week. Nothing wrong with having stuff that's convenient, my opinion. Shieldsy, how's lockdown land? All quiet on the Western Front, Shieldsy. I think there's a few people a bit angsty. I'm not. I'm fine. I mean, it's like, okay, well, I don't get to have my planned date night for Saturday night. And we were going to have a dinner for young Mr. Angry for his 21st, and that's been put off. He was planning to have a party here in a couple of weeks, and that's, I reckon there's a strong chance of that getting postponed, but we'll see. And hello to you, Kirsten. Ooh, look what I got today, Kirsten. I've been taste testing Steve the bartender's gin, threefold. It's really nice. It's a taste test, and it's really yummy. And so then I made a martini with it. It's got an orange twist in it, which is not really traditional, but I didn't have any lemons. Nothing wrong with having stuff that's convenient, my opinion. Shieldsy, how's lockdown land? All quiet on the Western Front. Oh God, she was so fucking angry about the people who panic buy when one of these comes on. It's like, okay, the first time, maybe even the first 2 times, I could excuse it. There's lockdown, no one knew what was going to happen, and people panicked a bit. But we have seen unequivocally, time and time and time again, these lockdowns don't interfere with the supply chain. Things are not going to run out. Running out and panic buying is the mark of a fucking moron. Just don't fucking do it. No tolerance for it. Safa, you've never had to quarantine. Well, you're lucky. Yeah, I don't know if you've had this one, Kirsten. It's quite good though. So the initial taste is actually quite sweet and got those citrus notes, but as it goes down, all the herbal elements, all the aromatics kick in. It's very tasty actually. It's a nice little drop. I'm having a dry martini with it. Oh, Chris, you've got a gluten-free vegan sugar cookie, aka crime against God. It's your dessert. Okay, well, I'm actually restraining myself somewhat and not having a dessert tonight, which is slightly difficult to resist because there's some ice cream in the freezer. But I'm going to be strong. And okay, this is my dessert. I'm having a martini dessert. Ah, you're actually up on the Sunshine Coast at your mum and dad's place, Shieldsy. You skipped from the islands. Ah, nice. Silumi, making a cocktail in your Udi. How are you possibly single? It makes no sense. Chris, you have a replacement bar at least once a day, help lose weight. Yeah, I enjoy the replacement stuff. I'm probably going to be on at least one a day forever. I think there's been 1 or 2 days where I've not had a meal replacement. Like I've had like 3 normal human meals in a day. Often I have one meal that's not a meal replacement, sometimes 2. And sometimes all 3 meals are the meal replacements. Working on the big goal. But yeah, now I want to do a gin pineapple sour that I was talking about with Salumi. Now, oh no, husband tripped the power. What's that all about? I think I opened a thing of pineapple juice, but possibly too long ago. I possibly should chuck it out. I'm going to check what state it's in. I should put dates on things like I opened this and this. That looks okay. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm tipping this out. I don't want to risk it. It's just there was actually a slightly funny smell to it. I did once. I'd left this can for ages, and I was thinking that's been there too long. I'm going to tip it out, and I didn't even check, and I just tipped it out, and I tipped it in the sink, and it was fucking black. The stuff that was coming out was black. So damn. Yes. There are dipshits panic buying toilet paper. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. So, readers, you went in Coles today, picked up a red basket, took 10 steps, realized how insane it was, and got the fuck out of there. Oh, people were being insane, greedy assholes. Yep. Water. Yes, Shieldsy, that's in the second half. Okay, I'm tipping this pineapple juice out, though. I don't trust it. Right. And we'll put that can in the recycling. And I'll open another one. Yes, I can. Get a cocktail shaker. I was getting lime juice. That's what I was getting. Lime juice. So, oh yeah. See, the panic buying thing is a vicious cycle. People who aren't being idiots go, wait, the idiots are going to buy everything. The shelves will be empty. Oh my god, I've got to get something. Fucking sucks. So, as a Kirsten, oh, you got a promotion this week. Fucking yeah, you rock. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So Kirsten's hiring. Anyone who wants, Kirsten to be their boss, and you're in Sydney, going to work at Archie Rose? Asaf, you're unhappy there was no naan bread at Aldi. Right. So I was going to try this interesting gin pineapple sour recipe. See, maybe I shouldn't go subtle with that, because with all the pineapple juice, we need something punchy, which is me saying maybe I should use my overproof gin. Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should. Wah, wah, wah. So, actually, before I do that and get too drunk, I was going to do another taste test. Small shot glasses. Another new bottle I got. Because this was on sale on a website. An Australian brandy from the 23rd Street Distillery. Now, I've had brandy from this distillery before. One is like their default entry level brandy they call Not Your Nana's Brandy, which I'd always like the name of. And this is their trying to find a seam on this plastic seal. Oh wait, that looks like it's meant to be. Yes, that looks like the thing I meant to tear. Got it. Good. Yeah, I love the name Not Your Nana's Brandy. So I'd get that. And it was like their entry-level brandy. This is their more upmarket brandy. They call Prime Brandy. And it was on sale on a website. It was basically cheaper than the Not Your Nana's Brandy. So I thought, right, time to try their Prime Brandy. What's it say in the little letters? A century-old distillery in South Australia's Riverland, reignited with new creative passion. The Angels have imbibed their share, with each parcel matured an average 5 years in oak. Bright, single-pot distilled portions sing sweet harmonies with indulgently rich double-pot parcels. Beware divine beings hovering hopefully about your glass. That's quite cute. That's quite cute. So I'm going to try this, and I'm going to compare it to an XO Cognac. That's the most aged Cognac. It's supposed to be the most upmarket French Cognac. Ooh. Oh man, that's very fruity. Oh, getting that nice gurgling sound. See how this Aussie brandy holds up to a Cognac. I'm just knocking things over in the kitchen. An XO Cognac at that. It's really interesting, like, okay, this is not cheap. It's Costco Cognac, but it's still Cognac. It's not that cheap. And I like this huge bulky bottle, but there's this weird as fuck cork. That shiny bit on the top is really cheap plastic. Really detracts from the whole thing, how cheap that plastic is. So, has a very grapey smell, this one is. Similar, but perhaps lighter, the aroma. Hello, Abigail. I'm just taste testing. Smells like the barrels, this one, I think. Ooh, yeah. Oh, it's got this real sort of molasses flavor on the back palate. Ah, nice. Salumi, you made the sour. You like it. I'm going to make one too. I was just doing a taste test of this one. Oh, it's got this, yes, almost sort of burnt toffee smell. I mean that in the positive way. Rinse my palate a bit. This will just be water now. Okay, and now the French cognac. Well, they're very similar in that they're both brandies. The cognac's probably lighter. The cognac doesn't really have the molasses toffee flavor that the 23rd Street brandy does. Similar but different. So nice. And I will say once again, I think 23rd Street Distillery is holding its own against this cognac. How big is this? Is just a normal 750 mils. So that might look like a big bottle, but it really only holds the same as this. And I did see, I think Safa saying, how long would it last? I don't know. Somewhere between 6 months and a year. I don't think I'll use it up faster than that. I've already had it for a couple of months, and it's only down that much. So I would expect this to last overall somewhere between 6 months and a year. But we will see, I guess. Okay. Well, I'm quite pleased with this brandy. It's very good quality. Make a brandy drink sometime. Ugh, it's cognac day next week, I think. I have to make a final decision on what cocktails I'm going to make tomorrow night for videos for next week. I know I've got to make one. I've got to make the cane flower one I've been talking about. Where is it? Sorry, I'm just looking at some drink days. There's a website called Drink Days that tells you when things. So the 4th is Cognac Day and the 5th is Moonshine Day. So that kind of informs I could make, because I've got some moonshine over there, and I've got cognac over there. So I should make a cognac and a moonshine. And I've got to do the floral one, the cane flower. That's the one I'm going to do for Monday. Bernie, you're enjoying rhubarb and ginger gin, diluted with sugar-free ginger beer. That does indeed sound like a health tonic, Bernie. Nice choice. Absolutely nice choice. Who made, what's the maker of the rhubarb and ginger gin? I have a gin over there from the Tiny Bear Distillery. They call their gingerbread one, and it does indeed have flavors reminiscent of gingerbread. And their Christmas one is reminiscent of Christmas pud. They're quite clever, the people at Tiny Bear Distillery, making their yummy things. Kirsten drinking whiskey in bed. Nice. Ah, Bernie, it's a Whitley Neal gin. Nice. Okay. Abigail, you found Twofold on sale, so you're having whiskey and cola. Nice. Twofold is a very nice mixer. There you go. Kirsten picked it straight away. Rhubarb and ginger would be Whitley Neal. There you go. By the way, Bernie, Kirsten is our resident gin and, in fact, all things spirit expert. I always consult with Kirsten on these things, but that should give you a hint that she just heard rhubarb and ginger and knew it was Whitley Neal, or suspected it was Whitley Neal. So I'm going to make this sour that Salumi made that I recommended. It sounds good. I've just got to decide, seeing I've got the Steve the Bartender stuff here, do I just keep using that? But I think, yeah, pineapple juice is going to overpower. So maybe I should do my Archie Rose Distiller's Strength. Yes, Kirsten, I love Twofold. It's such a nice mixer. It's besides the fact it is the cheapest of the Starward whiskies, it's such a light taste. I think it's a really good sort of entry-level whiskey for someone to try. It's got lovely whiskey characteristics, but it's not overpowering. Kirsten's obnoxious superpower, knowing about gin stuff. Safa, I think there was some improvement in the government taxing of craft distilleries this year. Not enough to make the prices come down, but enough to maybe help the distilleries expand, which would be nice because they're employers and they're exporters, all good things. Right, I am going to make this gin. It does need something punchy, I think, to compete with pineapple juice. So I'm going to get my overproof gin. Also, because if I finish this, it's an excuse to buy some more. Got my shaker. Oh wait, I want my foamer because it's a sour. Don't know if you need a dry shake when you're using a foamer rather than egg white, but I might do a dry shake. Oh, they increased the tax rebate. Is that what they did? It was at least vaguely positive. It's like finally starting to listen to producers that they need to calm the fuck down with the taxes. Alrighty. So, gin. Pineapple juice. Also, pineapple juice should help it foam as well, actually. Pineapple juice tends to go foamy when you shake it in. I was just going to pour it in, which I could have done, but let's measure it. Because we're fucking professionals. What was else in this recipe? Lemon juice. I thought it was lime juice. Okay. Put the lime juice back. You get lemon juice and some simple syrup. Syrup and lemon juice. So many things in the fridge. Right. So, just a little bit of simple syrup. That'll be enough. A little bit of simple syrup. And I'll say half an ounce of lemon juice. I say half a lemon, which is a ridiculous... I can get a bit antsy at people who do imprecise measurements. Like, lemons are completely different. Don't say half a lemon. Say how many mils or ounces of lemon juice it should be. Got some Wonder Foam. And after all, you're my Wonder Foam. Bernie's Elvis. Peter Garrett was an evangelical Christian, like real born again. And that was when he was with Midnight Oil back in the 80s. It was kind of a well-kept secret because it would have turned off a lot of Midnight Oil fans if they knew how Christian he was. But yeah, he's been Christian for a long time. Kirsten, first 350,000 in excise is returned to the distillery, designed to help the little guys more than the big guys, which is nice. Abigail, first time you're not really appreciating lockdown because it's getting in the way of the new D&D game. Damn. So I'm going to give this a good solid shake without ice because we like our drinks foamy. I'll just use this ice. Ooh, shit. Physics. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Bit more ice. Right. So, a little bit more shaking. So live stream's going to increase during lockdown. Not really, because the lockdown's probably only going to last 1 week. If it got extended, I might. Looks nice and foamy, so we'll strain that. Oh, fuck yeah. Good job, that man. That's a much better volume drink for this. I'm just reusing my martini glass. So I couldn't be bothered getting another glass. Look at that. Foam should kind of settle up at one point, but now it looks like it's all foam. Bernie, is ice meant to be the magic ingredient? Ice is good. You like the pouring sound? So here's what we do. Got to do a cocktail ASMR video at one point. Just record all the cocktail making sounds and play them in a loop. Relax to the sounds of cocktail making. But, man, I think I'll make this one for my channel, actually. And even in the martini glass, it's really good. It's really interesting. You can see it's starting to separate now. Kirsten, how's Aidsy? I have not heard from him for a little while. So I should follow up with him tomorrow and find out what's happening. Oh, nice. Abigail, you made a friend a Snosberry Fizz. It was a hit. A Snosberry Fizz is a fine drink. For those who don't know, that's what we've more or less christened the official drink of the stream. When Abigail and Annette and Kirsten and I met up one time when Kirsten was in Melbourne, went to a couple of local distilleries. And one guy recommended using a slow style gin with whiskey and a 50-50, and we thought that sounded weird, but it was good. And then on a stream, I made it topped with soda, so it was a fizz and it was yummy. AMAC Turbo. I haven't seen videos since back in the day when I used to wear the mask. No, it was your first subscription. Nice. Still at it. Yeah, I'm a bit chill and laid back these days. For the last year, COVID and whatnot has been the main driver. I've just been doing live streams and hanging out and chilling rather than doing my usual angry rant videos because it's just the sign of the times. Yes, Kirsten, Snosberry Fizz is a fine drink. And it's amazing because when it was the guy at Patient Wolf who told us if you may have heard the term slow gin. And a lot of people think that's some reference to SLOW, as in not fast gin. No, it's a reference to blackthorn fruit, sometimes called slow berries, SLOE. You get some purists saying, it's not a berry, it's fruit. Blackthorn grows widely in the UK, and it was used to flavour gins. That was his name. Thanks, Kirsten. It was Blake at Patient Wolf. Slow was used to flavour gins, so slow gins tend to be lower alcohol by volume. They tend to be a sort of red, fruity colour, and they're quite good. Patient Wolf has one called Blackthorn. Blake at Patient Wolf said, "Oh, you want a way to drink it? 50% this, 50% whiskey," and which sounds weird as fuck. Then we tried it and it was good. And then said on a stream, thought, I'm going to try what's it going to be like as a tall drink. So put it in a tall glass, lots of ice, topped with soda. I believe it was Abigail who came up with Snosberry Fizz as the name for it. It's a class drink, though. It's a fucking class drink. I love it. Bernie is ranting now, so yesterday. It's just, you see after you let it settle for a while, you get that nice separation between the drink and the phone. I might make this for my YouTube channel. Feels a bit unbalanced. I think this is someone's. It's definitely. It's not bad. It's quite nice. And as I suspected, it's somewhat dominated by the pineapple. I'd try and balance it a bit more, I think. Potentially less pineapple juice and maybe use lime juice instead of lemon juice, and maybe a little bit more lime juice. Yes, an important definition with slow gins. They're the only style of gin allowed to be sold at less than 37.5% alcohol by volume and still be called gin. And we've now subscribed to Gin Facts. Nice. Because technically, because a lot of slow gins are like only about 25% alcohol. So technically it's a gin liqueur. Because it was such a traditional drink, you're allowed to just call it slow gin. A lot of the Australian fruity gins are fucking way higher ABV. Like I said, a lot of the English slow gins are 25, 27% alcohol. A lot of the Australian ones are over 35%, which is quite high for a slow style gin. But so of the ones I've had, big recommendations. The one from Patient Wolf, their Blackthorn, got great reviews from the gang when we had it. And I've got cherry gin from Anther in Geelong. And it's fucking awesome. So, yes, fruity gins can be very good. Yes, visit your local distillery, gang. Wherever you live, there's probably local distilleries doing really interesting stuff. So, Oh God, stuff's going to be -3 at your mum's town on Saturday. Yeah, we're getting our first taste of proper winter in Melbourne. It's quite difficult for it to get down to 0 in Melbourne, although it happens occasionally. Minimums for the next couple of days. Yeah, 2. So I don't know if that's Sunday morning or Sunday night, but they're saying the minimum on Sunday is 2 Celsius, which is super fucking cold for Melbourne, and 4 on Monday. So, and maximums are 14, 15. The maximums are really the same for the next week. They're only varying between 14 and 16. The minimums are varying between 2 and 9, which is a big variance. You have subscribed to Weather Facts. Salumi, for friends in lockdown, highly recommend latest episode of Willosophy with Anna Piper Scott. Thank you for that recommendation, Salumi. the Philosophy podcast, where Will Anderson interviews various comedians, and this one has got Anna Piper Scott. I did see that on Twitter and thought that sounded interesting. Yes. So, Kirsten, the product existed before regulations for gin were in, so it was grandfathered as din. Yeah, we have subscribed to Gin Facts. We love our Gin Facts. Chris, there's a microbrewery across the street. Oh, you should go see what they're doing. I mean, breweries I'm not so interested in. I don't drink beer. But, for instance, in the immediate surrounds, and I mean without even traveling far, there's at least 6 distilleries around here, and they're all doing interesting things. Yeah, Chris, the microbreweries and distilleries often do food as well. Well worth exploring. Absolutely worth exploring. So Domi Salumi. Oh, okay. Anna Piper Scott. Yes, the thing. You've never felt more visible as a trans non-binary person in the best way. Nice. Nice. Oh, and I bet Kirsten knows the answer to that, Safa. What's the closest distillery to Albury? I bet there's some in the area. Hey, Max Ebo, if you're ever in South Australia, great distillery in the Barossa called Durand. They run a gin school too. Really fun. That actually sounds awesome. There's, I have well, this is South Australian, threefold. Got from Steve the bartender. I've also got several products from the Applewood distillery in Adelaide. There is a bunch of, although Adelaide's been known for a long time for quality wines, there are some serious quality distilleries in Adelaide. Ooh, there's over 70 distilleries in Victoria. Highest concentration. Yeah, well, I literally just meant not far from me. There's like 6 or 7 at least. I have products from several of them. Not all of them, though. There's one. I was really surprised where I was working in the city, kind of like downstairs was the Little Lon Distillery. They're in a heritage building in Little Lonsdale Street. I have to try their stuff one day. I love that, Slippy. Opie, your cat's gone from skepticism of the Udi to wanting to climb into it. I don't think it would take much to get a cat to want to climb into an Udi with their human, particularly in winter, obviously. But yeah, cats are like that. So I have to decide. Where's my book? I thought I had it here. It must be out there. I have to decide. I think I know what I'll do for moonshine, because I got this Byron Bay moonshine, Pacific moonshine, and they actually have a recipe. Here it is. For what they call a new moon Mai Tai, which is not really traditional Mai Tai, not even close. They're like 30 mils of Pacific moonshine, 30 mils of Mac, 30 mils pineapple juice, 30 mils orange juice. Not really like a Mai Tai at all. But again, people do whatever they like and call it Mai Tai. I think I'll make that for Moonshine Day. I love the story behind this. Pacific Moonshine, that's the Byron Bay Distillery, Brookies. And they had some friends who ran the Stone and Wood Brewery, who were brewing their craft beer, and then lockdown hit and they couldn't sell their beer because all the pubs were closed. And they said, oh, what do we do? Can we do something with this? And the initial thought was, yeah, like a lot of us are going to make hand sanitizer. Maybe we'll just distill it into hand sanitizer. And they said, well, that's unimaginative, isn't it? So because your base for whiskies is often done in a very similar way to beer. And so they use this beer as a base to brew. It's essentially like an unaged whiskey. So they call it moonshine. And it's got really interesting flavors. I'll be honest, straight, it's a bit rough, as most unaged spirits are, but it's a really good mixer. Oh, there's a few suggestions for you. Stuff from Kirsten, Bilson's Distillery, Reed and Co., or Hurdle Creek Distilleries. I knew there'd be a few. Safa, random guy offer you drugs on the footpath of Byron. That's what Byron's made for me. Yeah. That's it. Thank you, Kirsten. Again, I knew you'd come through. Beer is 2 steps for brewing. Whiskey is 5 steps, but the first 2 steps of whiskey are basically the 2 steps of beer. So yeah, so a beer was the base for a whiskey, and the Byron Bay people distilled this beer and came up with this moonshine, which is really good. Yeah, Bernie, a hand sanitizer distilled from beer might be a quite pleasing aroma. But I've got a few unaged spirits over there, essentially moonshines. And I think the thing, for me at least, that they have in common, they're a bit friggin' rough straight. They're not things I'd drink straight, but they've proven to be really good mixers. Um, yeah, the Pacific Moonshine is a really good, like, goes really well in tropical drinks. It's a good substitute for rum, essentially. Even though it's closer to a whiskey, not closer. It's an unaged whiskey. Rum is distilled from molasses, and these come from grain beer. So, but it's a very good substitute in tropical and tiki style drinks for a rum. Hence their version of a mai tai here, which I think I will make. But Moonshine Day is not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. So I'll make it tomorrow night. I think I'll make that. I have to decide what cognac drink to make. Chris, reading an article about how Portland will just evict homeless people, displace people even more. Yeah. Oh, it's not just you, man. It's everywhere. Like the way homeless people are treated is fucking ridiculous. It's like you're already having a shit run of things, and people go, I should punish them. It's like, okay, cool. Right. So, what does liquor.com say to do with brandy, aka cognac? Talking brandies all the way up. Cognac and other brandy, a love potion. Well, you've got to love the sound of something called love potion, honestly. So, cognac, rum. What the fuck is heirloom? Oh no, this is ridiculous. Pinot Noir juice? What's heirloom alkermes? It's a liqueur. Botanicals, cinnamon, clove, rosewater, vanilla bean. Okay, well, that's just annoyingly stupid. I liked the sound of a love potion, but the recipe is annoyingly stupid. What's a Woodson and Ford? Apple brandy, rum, vermouth, Benedictine, bitters. That's sounding interesting. That's like a New Orleans drink, but with rum. That's sounding interesting because you get like rum, brandy or cognac, and vermouth and Benedictine. There's a lot of the New Orleans style drinks that have that, and is Ranzabaca good rum? People like Ranzabaca rum. It's rum. Oh, it's a 23-year-old rum. Jesus. 23-year-old rum. Is that why it's called 23? It's 23 years old. Jesus. What's my most aged rum? Probably the 15-year-old Cuban. It's probably my most aged rum. So I like the sound of that, a New Orleans style drink, but with rum. I get what you're saying, Kirsten. The difference between making beer and whiskey, if you add hops at the wash stage, you get beer. If you distill it, you get new make whiskey. Nice. Oh, yeah, Safa, that's an unanswerable question. What's the best type of alcohol? It's down to personal taste. It's absolutely down to personal taste. And it's different spirits for different occasions. Stella, good evening to you. Oh, and Safa, and as for the question of is beer boring? Not to beer aficionados. Personally, I think beer is fucking gross. But a beer aficionado will go on for ages and ages about the subtleties of the different sorts of beers. There's obviously an enormous amount to explore with beer. I just find beer really gross, personally. So, Chris, you were homeless in 2012. You weren't a drug addict. You wasn't insane. You were illegally evicted. Never forget how horrible people were. Supposed to be dude, even if you were a drug addict or insane, the idea of fucking harassing people who are already having a really shit time is just so fucking bad to me. I kind of feel compelled to work on this pineapple gin sour because it's just totally fucking unsubtle with all that pineapple. Maybe dial it back to 1 ounce pineapple. Put lime juice instead of lemon juice. Possibly even slightly more sugar syrup. Or I use my lemon lime. What's it called again? Oleosaccharum. Chris, you want me to dial that drink in? Still, you like beers that make you bloated. Yeah, I have to admit, another thing in favor of spirits is the shortcut to getting hammered without feeling bloated because way less volume. Like this particular drink was probably as strong as 2 beers, but had not even a tenth the volume of 2 beers. So I can just pleasantly sip and drink this and off I go. Chris, I have drunk some water. I'll probably drink some more. I don't think I'll make another alcoholic drink now. I'm just planning for tomorrow night. But this Woodson and Ford one, a New Orleans style cognac cocktail, but it also has rum in it. I've never done that. And it's all fucking booze, which I love. Brandy, rum, vermouth, Benedictine, and bitters. Nothing else. No fillers. Like, look out. I think I'm probably going to make that one because that sounds really good. What's a flint? Cognac, bar spoon of chartreuse, melon brine, tonic. No, I don't think we'll do that. A jamboree. Armagnac, Cochi Americano, Eau de Vie, Cachaça, Verjuice, which I actually have, cardamom syrup. No, it's not as interesting as the other one to me. A Pusher Man. Geez, that's a wild name for a cocktail. The Pusher Man. What's in the Pusher Man? Armagnac, gin, Dorland Genepi. See, he's got stupid fucking obscure fucking things that I don't have. Stuff, what's the difference between ginger and root beer? Root beer doesn't have ginger in it. Ginger beer is built around ginger. Root beer is built around something else. Chris, you like cola and root beer. Kirsten, you were homeless in 2008 when your house burned down. God damn. You're able to couch surf, stay between various houses, put all your shit lived in a garage, the car. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good halfway point, but it's still fucking difficult. Yeah, Stella, our lockdown sucks. But hopefully it only lasts 7 days or less. Greg's at a gig. Just wanted to say, got the gun. Hey, Greg. Last gig before lockdown. Nicely timed, robot man Greg. Getting to a gig before everything locks down. Hope that means you don't get exposed to COVID. Hope that doesn't mean you do get exposed to COVID. But yes, thanks for letting us know you're out there, Greg. It's cool. Oh, yes, no, Safa, root beer and ginger beer taste very different to the best of my knowledge. So ginger beer, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, is brewed from with ginger as a primary thing. So there you go. We're all sharing the stories. Abigail became homeless when developed chronic depression, couldn't work, and partner at the time left you. Yeah, that's a nasty double, triple whammy. Let's say, what is root beer? Some people are saying it's root beer is interchangeable with sarsaparilla. Root beer is a sweet North American beverage traditionally made using the root bark of the sassafras tree. Root beer is typically, but not exclusively, non-alcoholic, caffeine-free, sweet and carbonated. Sassafras. So root beer is sassafras. And some people equate sarsaparilla with root beer. So Silumi's been nearly homeless, growing up in rentals, but fortunate to mostly avoid it. Safa, yes, you can definitely get root beer in Australia, or things called root beer in Australia anyway. So speaking of drinking some water, might do that now. We're in the second half. It's time for me to throttle down and drink some water. I've had enough of my alcohol tasting for this evening. It's only Thursday. Don't want to go crazy. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Go crazy on Friday. So Abigail, root beer is one of the favourite drinks of the Starfleet personnel on DS9. Nice. I have some, I think it's Bundaberg sarsaparilla in the fridge, which is not bad. Not bad at all. I got it just to see if I liked it because my palate's changed so much. Because I had this thing that I didn't like sarsaparilla or root beer. And that's also why I got ginger beer and ginger ale recently. Found out I did like them. Probably don't want to drink huge amounts of them, but perfectly drinkable. So if you got alcohol waiting for you in Victoria, well and good. I think I've got. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. What else did I'm sure I ordered more alcohol, which I shouldn't, but I did. I did. I ordered the pre-mixed cocktails from Archie Rose. Fucking looking forward to those. They might even arrive tomorrow. Who knows? They might. I might have them for Friday night. Start off Friday night party night with some pre-mixed cocktails. Yeah, boy. So, okay, I think I've worked out what cognac I'm going to do. I'm going to do this Woodson and Ford because I like the sound of it. Pumpkin bag. A few pumpkin cognac drinks. A Figgy Smalls. Okay. A white person came up with that name. Fig-infused cognac, Grand Marnier, lemon juice, orange juice, simple syrup. Huh. Hey, God, so many of these things have fucking cognac drinks with pumpkin in them. It's weird how many. A gravedigger. What's in a gravedigger? Brandy, coffee liqueur, Grand Marnier, espresso. It's like an espresso martini, but with brandy, aka fucking gross. It's in a brandy sangria. Sugar, water, brandy, port. See, a Vieux Carré, which I made recently, which I fucking love. See, a Vieux Carré, which is a really traditional New Orleans drink. That's whiskey, cognac, vermouth, Benedictine. And the one which I've pretty much decided I'm going to make, which is the Woodson and Ford, is brandy, rum, vermouth, Benedict. So it's very similar to a Vieux Carré, but with rum instead of whiskey. So yeah, I like the sound of it. Oh, nice. Yes. More info for you, Safa. There's a whiskey distillery in Corowa, which is on the New South Wales side, but not that far. Stella, speaking of Star Trek, saw a cloud that looked like a bird of prey today. Made you think of Abigail. Nice. Bernie, you're a fan of port and ice cream? I've got a bunch of fruit liqueurs here that would all be fucking awesome with ice cream. I don't think I've ever done it, but they would be fucking awesome with ice cream. So, I've got this thing made. Maybe I should do that. Just get some ice cream and pour one of these fruit liqueurs on it. That would be fucking awesome. Thinking of it. Yeah, okay. I do not have a soda stream drink made up, so I gotta just drink water. Well, that's a good question, Stella. Do you have any Kirsten, do you have any knowledge of the Lime Burner honey whiskey? Okay, Bernie, you said do it, so now I have to. So I'm just going to have a little one, though. Got a little bowl. Little bowl and a spoon. Not that spoon is too big. So I got a little. I'm just having a little bowl, and I have one scoop of ice cream, put a little bit of liqueur on it. I have this special ice cream in here. That I got from the Super Duper Market. Hinterland. Hey, Meester. Hinterland. Burnt butter and caramel sauce. And I had a bit of this the other night, and it's pretty good. Because I've had burnt butter desserts in posh restaurants, and they're very nice. And this actually does taste like it. All right. So I'll put that back. Now, which of the liqueurs will I put on it? Oh, shit. This one. Marionette Dry Cassis. Tasmanian Black Currants. Initiate a lockdown 4.0. Yep. All right. Oh, man, that looks great. I can't really show it to you. Oh, yeah. You can see. Ice cream and liqueur. Nice. Initiator got your kebab. You ready? Dude, you're large and in charge. The kebab will last you the first few minutes of lockdown. You know what? I was right. This liqueur goes really well with ice cream. Oh, okay. You sell that when you're talking about the Lime Burners honey whiskey. You saw it at the airport. Yeah, airport's probably the most expensive place to buy it. Okay, this is really good. And I was responsible and just had a really little serving of it. So, actually, next time I might try it just with vanilla ice cream. But it works quite well. Nice. Usually, do I ever stare at people complaining about masks and think I was wearing a mask 15 years ago? I hate people who make a big song and dance about masks. Not people who have a genuine issue where masks are difficult or impossible for them, but the overwhelming majority of people who complain who are just pieces of shit. You know, I feel like I'm just going to leave you for 30 seconds for a wee break. All right, I'm back. I'm just getting some water to drink. Fill it up, fill it up. Oh, I'm not going to fill it up. I'll take forever. That's probably enough water for now. All right. I'm back. See what's happening. Oh, I need an extrovert to keep you amused. Oh, dear. Yeah, sorry. It's just a very, very quick dash away there. I just thought, still got half an hour to go, and I wasn't sure I'd make a whole half hour without my bladder bursting. So I've done it. So, all right. So now, but I feel good because I know what I'm going to make tomorrow night now. So that's good. So finishing off a bottle of wine. Made beef stew because you're expecting guests. Thought they'd drink the rest if I opened it. The guest cancelled, so now you've got wine and beef stew. Nice. Nice. Actually, I must have had good flavors in my system because that water tastes really good now. Oh, wow. It's $83 for that whiskey liqueur. So, okay, Kirsten, you think it's overpriced. Trust in the Oracle. Although I'm not sure what I paid for the Lark liqueur that I have. I look it up. Where are we? Lark liqueur. Oh, okay. Slancho sells for about $60. So that's okay. That is, and that's Lark, which has the biggest. That's like the biggest brand name of Australian whiskies. and Lark's single malt liqueur Slanche is $60, and it's actually really fucking good. Oh no, Silumi, it's now got the stage where Opie's mad at you for not letting him into your Udi. Nice. So still, you're not a wine drinker, but you're not going to waste perfectly good wine. Your mother always said there are sober children in Africa. No, I know you're saying starving. So don't let that wine go to waste. There are sober children in Africa. Worst parenting ever. Finish your wine, young lady. There are sober children in Africa. Oh dear. Oh, Kirsten, what are you teasing? You might know about some things. Hello, Grasshopper. Nice to see you on a Thursday evening. Ah, yes, you might know about an Australian distillery working with honey. And I would be very interested when the public get to find out about said Australian distillery who are experimenting with honey and whiskey, because that's a thing I like. But that's a thing for the future. Not saying which distillery it might be. That image possibly unrelated, but it's all happening. Shannon, you cook with honey. Can't say use it for drinks. It's good in cooking. I've made a honey syrup, and I guess I've got two honey liqueurs. I've got the traditional Scottish one, Drambuie, and I've got the Australian one from the Lark Distillery, a Slanche, which is fucking great. Your wife does love our honey lemon tea. Mrs. Angry makes me this drink when I'm thick with a cold or something, and that's got honey and lemon and other good stuff in it. And now I've got some really good liqueurs that should go into it to kick it up a notch. So you Googled the Tasmanian Moonshine Company's Mellifera, which is $85. Worth it. Fucking amazing stuff. Nice. I've got a bunch of stuff that costs more than $85. Liqueurs aren't necessarily worth it. It's the spirits. I still think the most I've spent is $120, which with Australian spirits is actually not that expensive. Oh yes, Shannon, honey, lemon, cinnamon. I think Mrs. Angry does it with a cinnamon stick in it as well. Yes, Shannon. I would like. Look, I will send you a link, Shannon. I'll go on Facebook. No, fucking invite link. Give me the invite link. For some reason, StreamYard has trouble talking to my YouTube account. No, Facebook and StreamYard don't get on. So, Shannon, if you want to show us pictures of the eclipse, I just put the link there on Facebook. So Salumi been talking to the guy I met for a coffee date. He's ticking a lot of boxes, but don't want to get at hopes. Here we go. You know, who knows anything? Kirsten, your favorite liqueur is the Imbue Distillery, the Elixir. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I don't have anything from Imbue, and I know you've talked about a few of their products. And that makes a banging hot toddy. Nice. The Imbue Distillery. How are you guys doing? Yes, I'm over 18. Come and visit us. Wander north. First Fleet, prickly pear and orange. All seasons, honey, cinnamon, and star anise. The elixir, scented with lemon honey. That sounds perfect for a hot toddy. Upper Heidelberg Road, Ivanhoe. I think that's not that far away from me. Yeah. That's a half hour away from me. I should go and see them when lockdown's over. Yes. I should have. In fact, I could get a tram most of the way there, I think. Oh, man, I'll have to look into that. I will have to look into going and seeing them when lockdown is over. Okay, sorry, Grasshopper's here. How you going,
Evening.
Carl?
Good, mate.
Evening.
How you doing?
Good. Now you were going to show us pictures
I
of.
am. I'm just trying to get them off my phone onto my computer at the moment, and my computer is being silly.
That's fair enough. So, Stella, there's an
Um,
apiary in the Swan Valley that does non-alcoholic carbonated honey drink, light and refreshing, perfect for hot toddy. That sounds amazing. A carbonated honey drink. Nice. Oh, okay. Kirsten recommends their tasting room as a lovely date spot. I will have to look into it. I'll have to work out the best way to get there because clearly if I'm doing tastings, I can't really drive because I'm not saying I'm going to get shit-faced, but I'll probably get shit-faced. So
at least you're honest about it, I guess.
yeah. So but definitely going to have to look into their tasting room because they were really talking it up on their website. So yeah, why don't you remember me website? So visit our cocktail bar and not afraid to play with flavors. See in our tasting room. So there's not actually. So they make a gin or two, the Journey gin, the Suburban gin, and the Barrel Aged gin. They make some liqueurs. They make the First Fleet, All Seasons, and the Elixir. What do you mean one of you? I'm a second generation. Here it
Yeah,
is. No, here's a menu. Sorry. Okay. All right. You ready, Shannon? Or
I am getting them as we speak. Will not be long.
okay, no problem. Okay, so I'm just looking at this menu here. Oh yes, they've got some nice sounding cocktails. Picnic paddle, sourdough, crackers, cheeses, nice. Olives, crackle corn, maple duck fat, or spicy miso nuts. God damn, they call that Wonder Snack. Maple duck fat, duck nuts. Sorry, duck fat nuts. Whoa, okay. Oh, I see, Kirsten. You need to go somewhere else for substantial food. Yeah, but I like the idea of doing a tasting there.
All right, now I've got those files off my phone onto my PC. I can actually do the sharing thing now.
Nice and
So
lovely.
let's see. It's share and share the screen. I said share the screen. Let's see. Entire screen and allow. Here we go.
There we go. Where are we? Oh, look, it's the time tunnel. Look out.
How's that? Does that look better?
Oh, nice.
So up the top, up here,
Yeah.
that's actually the eye lens from my telescope itself.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was actually able to get it lined up with my phone lens, because I don't actually have the thing that connects directly to my phone yet from the telescope, as much as I would love that. But you can really see the blood moon part just there.
Yeah.
Got a couple of really good shots that I was quite happy with. That one there's my favorite.
Yeah.
That one there's a little bit closer up.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those are the shots that I managed to get last night. That's just using the eyepiece on my telescope.
Yeah.
Just hooking the phone lens up to that as opposed to because there's things that you can get where it's got a HDMI out from the telescope to go into your laptop,
Yeah.
computer, whatever, and you get your best shots from there. But
Yeah.
I don't have the money for that part of it at the moment, so it was just painfully sitting there with the phone on
Yeah.
the lens,
Lining
kind
it
of
up.
just try to
Yeah.
get it just right and not shaking when you try to take the picture button, and not realizing that the phone was set to video. So I'd like recorded like 10 seconds of me going, "What the hell isn't this working?" And
Bit of an adventure all around, basically.
But no, it was really awesome looking at it through the telescope last night. So yeah. So Melbourne's back in lockdown, is it, Angry?
Oh yeah, 7 days. Don't go further than 5 kilometers from home. Only 5 reasons to leave your house. One of which is to get a vaccine.
So, like, how many locally acquired cases have they found?
Like 25 confirmed, but
Wow.
there's tens of thousands of potential contacts with that. Because
Oh boy.
these people went to a lot of fucking places, including the MCG for a football game. So yeah, yeah,
This is what the experts were saying, that we had to stay in lockdown until the vaccine's finished. Like,
yeah,
this is like one of those worst case scenarios that they talked about by the
yeah,
sounds of things.
yeah.
Sydney went into lockdown during Christmas and during New Year's because there was like 5 locally acquired cases.
Hmm.
Like, you guys have gone from none to 25 in the blink of an eye. That's a little bit on the
Yeah.
frightening side.
Oh, and like these people got around. Like it's all coming from one family and they fucking got around. And like it was kind of funny seeing one dude had a big night out on Saturday night on Chapel Street. Just like the places where he was, there was this 6 hour period where he was just bouncing between cocktail bars on Chapel Street, which is kind of funny. He's like just, having this big night till 2 a.m. at these cocktail bars, but that also is a sort of direct exposure for hundreds of people.
It
And
really is, yeah. I mean, my
yeah,
hope is that they were completely asymptomatic, like they had no idea.
well, I'm not real fond of what we're hearing about the dude who actually started it, who came out of quarantine in South Australia, and he had symptoms, and he's just like, oh, it's just a cold, and the motherfucker went everywhere, and it's just like, I fucking hate you, man. I fucking hate you. You had just come from overseas. You were like the highest risk thing, but you just decided it's just the odds of it being just a fucking cold, you fucking prick. And it's just like, fuck you. Fuck you so hard. This is why we can't have nice thing, because people
Mm.
are assholes, basically.
No, during this thing, like, I've woken up with a scratchy throat, and I've not been like close to any form of outbreak. I haven't been in contact with anybody. Like, I've been completely quarantined. Woke up with a scratchy throat. Still got my ass out to get tested just to be on the bloody safe side. Like, and
Yeah.
I was in the lowest possible fucking risk group. So, if that's the case, then he is the highest level of dickhead that's out there.
The guy had literally just fucking come back from India and he'd been in
Oh, for
quarantine.
fuck's sake, from fucking India. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just a cold. What a
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the report. And it's like, if that's what happens, like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, I understand to a certain degree how hard the Australian government's clamping down on people coming home from India. I do. But on
Mm.
that same token, they need to have better um, situations in place for, okay, you're in a really bad place, you want to get the hell out of Dodge, come back home, okay, fine. This is how you're going to get home. This is where you're going to stay, whether it be on their dime or the government's dime or whatever, just so long as it
Mm.
happens. and make it so that, like, if they come back on the government dime or their dime or whatever into this certain thing that the government sets up, the only way that they're allowed out of that quarantine after the 14 days or whatever is when they have 1 or 2 consecutive negative fucking tests. That's when they're allowed to leave. Before that, they still stay their ass in the hotel.
Yeah. Well, like, I did quite like the acting premier in the presser today being very clear and direct. Hotels are a shitty way to run quarantine. The federal government should have set up proper quarantine facilities. It's their responsibility. They should have handled the vaccine rollout, so more than 1% of the population was vaccinated. And he laid it solely and said, if we'd had proper quarantine facilities and a proper vaccine rollout, we wouldn't be facing problems like this.
The only issue that I would have with that is that, like, with our federal government's treatment of refugees and of those in lower socioeconomic areas, the quarantine facilities that they may have set up I think would have been fucking horrifying. I think that the hotels, as shitty as they are probably a great step up from what they would have fucking provided.
The problem is hotels aren't a good facility for containing quarantine. They are really fucking bad facility. So yes, while people in a federal government run quarantine facility might have a shitty couple of weeks while they were there, it would lower the risk to the rest of the population by orders of magnitude.
If we had
15 months in, they've done nothing is inexcusable.
Oh, amen. A freaking man. If our hospitals were funded properly pre-COVID, when COVID hit, we would have had spaces at hospital for quarantine procedures.
Yeah,
that would have been the best.
We used to have we used to have a specialist infectious disease hospital in Melbourne, but Jeff Kennett, Liberal Premier, shut it down because he said, you don't need that, just put people in normal hospitals. Would have made a world of difference if we would have used that as a quarantine facility.
America had a medical board that was designed and dedicated to pandemics and stuff like that, and they had them for years without a pandemic, but they were there just in case. And when the bird flu happened and all of that sort of stuff, these guys did everything that needed to get done. They got dissolved not long before COVID hit. And have a look at America. It's, it's Trump's fault. It got as bad as it did, no doubt. But that was most certainly a big part of it, in my opinion.
Well, but it was Trump who did that because Obama actually put in special funding for a pandemic response thing. And Trump did this big thing of trying to destroy every Obama policy that was in place. And part of it was actually destroying this pandemic response unit, and lo and behold, a year or two after he destroys it, pandemic hits, and it's just like, yay.
And now that they've caused, Biden's just called for the definitive investigation on the beginning of SARS-CoV-2. Was it was it somebody brushing up against an animal in a wet market, or was it something that accidentally got released from a lab or anything like that, like this definitive study? He wants a definitive answer by the end of it, and that's a good thing. We need that answer, but it has sent all of your anti-Biden, Trump-supporting QAnon wankers in the world into fucking overdrive with all of their conspiracies again. And it's like, okay, just calm your tits. Let's wait for the results. Like, although you won't fucking accept the outcome of the results anyway, because you're a conspiracy theorist, and therefore you're an idiot.
There's no point in trying to engage with people things. Safa, why is China so shy about people letting people know where it's come from? First, because they don't know, but second, there is no question China upped their response to the outbreak because they didn't want the bad publicity. They didn't want to interfere with the holiday travel that was happening at the time, and they didn't want to be seen to be responsible. So they said, oh, look, we'll play it down and it'll probably be nothing. And if they had been more open, the global result could have been quite different. We'll never know for sure, but it could have made a very big difference if they were more open.
Things that China, with its propaganda, especially with the Communist Party being in power over there, their propaganda machine it's 24/7 nonstop. And if China gets found to actually be responsible for this, they really don't want that to be known. I mean, in the grander scheme of things, though, my prediction is this, and I hope that I'm wrong. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, for this hypothetical scenario, that we find that SARS-CoV-2 was made inside of a Chinese lab and it got out, but through sheer accident, like not a deliberate thing, but a complete accident. And that's what's caused this worldwide pandemic. Let's just say, hypothetically, that that's the truth. If that gets found, any sanctions that any country try to put on China in retaliation to that, China is going to have their own retaliation of, okay, then we're not going to provide this service to you, or we're not going to provide this type of mineral to you, or whatever, because China's got their fingers in so many of those pies. They're going to withdraw all of their support for that person, because how dare they hold China accountable for doing something wrong. And like, as a result, the worldwide reaction to China, if China is responsible, will be very minimal, because we can't do anything, because they've got entirely too much power in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. And valid point by Bernie in the chat as well, that propaganda in the West is also 24/7 nonstop. Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, Murdoch just wishes that he could do the media over here as well as the Communist Party does it over in China. Oh my God. And and just to make it clear, I fully support all of the backlash that John Cena is copping right now.
What a wuss. What a wuss.
Yep. He and so many others, like, it's why I refuse to buy Blizzard games anymore. I don't play any Blizzard games anymore. Anybody that comes out in support of China and Tibet, like saying that Tibet should be part of China, or doesn't have the balls to say that Tibet should be completely separate from China, no, they lose all of my fucking respect, all of it. I don't give a shit about their bottom line.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, Cena, because I think he actually, it was with regards to Taiwan with him, but same deal. And it was, clearly like WWE and some Hollywood things like, no, you can't, that will destroy, you'll never get cast in a movie because the Chinese market's really important. And but I mean, if they boycott stuff with you, it's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, people like John Cena and others, they've already made literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars from their time in the WWE and in their various movie roles and all of that sort of stuff. If that amount of money that you have got in your fucking savings and whatnot can't tide you over for the rest of your days, that you've got to toe that bullshit line, then you deserve all the fucking backlash that you're copping. Because at the end of the day, if me or you were given their wages for 1 week, we'd set ourselves up for the rest of our fucking natural lives. So
and it was clearly instructors like, dude, you'll never be in another movie again if you don't retract that, because the Chinese market's worth too much to us. It's the same as Mark Ruffalo apologizing because he said, I think, and again, it was an intemperate bit of language he used. He said something about Israel conducting genocide against the Palestinian people, and he said that was a bad word and I shouldn't use it. Whatnot. No, you shouldn't have said genocide. You should have said ethnic cleansing. You should have said apartheid, because they're not. There are certainly people who'd like to exterminate all Palestinian people, but what they're doing with forcing Palestinian people out of traditional Palestinian land is absolutely ethnic cleansing, and is absolutely, Israel under the current regime is an apartheid state. There's no two ways about it.
People keep on saying that, like, the most complicated thing in the world would be to actually have a long-lasting proper peace between those two peoples, and it's like, that solution isn't all that complicated. It's just you don't want to say it. And what you need to have the balls to say is that Israel are a bunch of cunts and need to get taught a lesson. They need to be forcibly stopped from what they're doing. I don't think that war is the answer, because war should never be the answer, but there should be real world consequences for doing what they're doing. Like, people in unison should be standing up and saying, no, we will not deal with you because you've been doing this for too long.
Yeah. And I would point out that when I say things like, I mean like the various right-wing regimes that have been in power in the state of Israel, and the Israeli military that is guilty of terrible, terrible, terrible things.
Oh, yeah.
And like, oh, what about Hamas firing? Yeah, Hamas should actually fucking stop that, firing the rockets at the civilian zones in Israel. They should absolutely stop that. It's in no way comparable to the Israeli military strikes on Palestinian civilian populations. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Hamas should stop fucking lobbing rockets at people. Like, you're dickheads too. But it's absolutely not comparable to what the Israeli military is doing.
It's definitely two different levels of wrong things. But if you want to put it on a sliding scale, then Israel's kind of winning that, and not winning in a good way, as it were.
No, yeah.
But, no, well, I just found out something that's also kind of interesting and a little bit annoying, and a completely different topic of conversation. So for the first time in a while, I finally set my VR kit back up.
Nice.
Yeah. And just trying to keep myself moving while I'm inside during the stupid cold weather. Because I usually go out to a place and do I do laps of a place that's not too far from here. And I try to get in about 10,000 steps, or about 5 or 6 Ks every night, just to keep the movement up. And I can't do it when it's freezing cold, because the arthritis and the cold in that circumstance really don't get along. So in the garage with the VR kit, and you can set up all of these different things to get you moving and whatnot. So I needed to charge my one of the controllers that I've got with it, just one of these things here. And turns out that when a friend of mine was playing it a few years ago, because it hasn't been set up since I took it down after this happened, he accidentally bashed the bottom of the controller against something, and he broke the strap off the end of it and whatnot. But the controller still showed up inside of VR, so I thought, okay, it's fine. When I tried to play a game, it was flat. I'm like, oh, I need to charge that. Now it doesn't charge. So the charger port there is absolutely broken. And you got to have like a specialist heat gun and all of these sorts of different things to take the old one off and put a new one on. So it's easier just to buy yourself another one if you don't have those parts. Just one of these, $250 fucking for one.
Shit. Holy shit! God,
that sucks.
Oh, man.
Oh man. So yeah, it'll be a couple of weeks before I can afford that.
Oh damn! Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Abigail, what kind of VR have you got? Have you got the HTC Vive or an Oculus, or any of those ones that are out there? What about you, Angry? Are you ever going to get into the VR side of things?
It's not something I see in my future, but who knows? I mean, I've played with VR at various venues, and it's definitely fun. There's no two ways about it. It's definitely fun.
I mean, if everybody here had VR, we could all do a Angry Bunch in VR chat. That's always fun.
Oh, that would be weird as fuck, wouldn't it? If we could all do it. And then, honestly, I reckon that's the future. Augmented reality in some form is definitely the future.
So I heard you like expensive plastic. Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, that's about right. Abigail, I have an Oculus Rift S. Nice. Metal Maniac Matt. G'day, mate. Shame about the lockdown.
It is a fucking shame about the lockdown at the moment.
Abigail says Angry Bridge Command. So there's a game that works on Oculus and HTC Vive called Star Trek Bridge Command. And it's a multiplayer VR game where you're actually the bridge crew on a starship. And so Abigail's saying angry bridge command. I would be
Oh,
totally
right.
down
So
for
we'll
that.
join in and play the different roles in Bridge Command. Yes.
Abigail, sorry, go ahead,
Sorry,
Angry.
I just want to say, Matt, this is the first time we're seeing you tonight. We haven't had fake Matt on tonight. Sad boy who I booted, Grasshopper, has been doing his standard thing of making fake accounts and coming on. So
Right. The wannabe troll. Yep.
Yeah.
What was wrong with the controller again, Abigail? It no longer charges. Years ago, when it was being used, a friend of mine was playing Beat Saber, got a little bit carried away with the controller, and he swiped rather hard, and he hit the brick wall in the garage and on the bottom of the controller. And like broke the wrist strap of the controller off, and the controller itself actually went flying halfway across the garage. We picked it up and it was still working, so I thought, okay, it's fine. But after that, the VR got dismantled. I don't even remember why we had to take the VR down, but something happened and I needed to take... Oh, no, that's right. No, the garage was about to get flooded. We had a really bad deluge of rain around here, and it was the garage was going to get flooded, so I needed to move everything in. The VR kit I packed into its box and put up at the top shelf and left it there for years. So didn't realize that it wouldn't charge. No, it's got batteries in it, but they're not interchangeable batteries. They're like a battery pack similar to a mobile phone battery pack down in the bottom. So that's it.
Oof.
Bernie, it can't be that bad. Get out the soldering iron. Bernie, it is really, 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 really tiny contacts that are on a very flimsy, thin PCB. So you do that just the slightest bit wrong with the soldering iron, you're going to destroy the PCB. You'd need a heat gun and a magnifying glass in order to be able to do it. I've got the skill set. I don't have the tools. And the cost of the tools to do it myself would be about the same cost as buying another bloody controller. So,
yes. Oh no. Oh dear.
It does not use the AA batteries, unfortunately. I've done micro soldering before. Yeah, Abigail, I've done it myself. But yeah, I don't have the tools here. I had a friend. Long story short, he really isn't a friend. He's a piece of shit and he's in prison. That's where he fucking belongs. But he was the one that had those tools, and I don't have those tools here. So Mofo sign, just finished watching Q&A. As usual, frustrating to watch in some places, especially with this Dave Sharma guy.
Oh, I recognize that name, Sharma. Who the fuck is he?
Dave Sharma. I have no idea. Let me have a look here. Okay, Dave Sharma is an Australian politician and former public servant and diplomat. He is a member of the Libs and was elected to the House of Reps in the 2019 federal election, representing the New South Wales seat of Wentworth.
Okay, that's what's his name's old seat? Former PM Turnbull.
Tony Abbott.
I think.
No, Abbott.
No, it's Tony Abbott's seat. He's the one. Yeah, there you go. I knew it was something to do with the former PM.
He previously served as the head of the International Division of the Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet, and as ambassador to Israel, oddly enough. His appointment to the latter post at the age of 37 made him one of Australia's youngest ambassadors and the second Australian ambassador of Indian heritage. So there we go.
Yeah, well, he's in the Liberal Party, so he's automatically shit.
No, that's it. The moment that I found out that he worked for the Libs, I just immediately knew that I wasn't going to like him.
Yeah, I recognize the name. I know I've heard the name. Couldn't, but no. New South Wales Liberal Party. What a piece of shit.
Abigail says that she has a microscope and heat gun. Abigail, I found Will's hoodie, so I might send it down with his hoodie when I've got the chance to get out to the post office, which might be a couple of days. So, but I'll be in contact with you soon in order to get your address to send down Will's hoodie and whatnot. Yes, no, it's a friend of mine over in WA. Actually, she is going to be running in the Australian Democrat Party, which is really cool. She's stupendously intelligent and very, very. She's like me, a complete political tragic. If her and I get on the phone, we have been known to get into political arguments that last the better part of 4.5 hours. So we may be a little bit of a political tragic. I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Yes, I know the life of being a political tragic, and what's funny is like, the Victorian Liberal Party are so fucked and such non-entities. So if there was a thing like such and such from the Victorian Liberal Party, I'm going, who's that? I've never heard of them. Oh, he's the leader of the Victorian Liberal Party. Okay, that's how irrelevant they are. God,
I look forward to the day, and I keep everything crossed that can be crossed, that on the federal level we do to the Libs what WA just did to their Libs, where they're not even fucking strong enough to form an opposition party, because that's just beautiful.
Sorry, I'm just answering. Sorry, I just need to do this, and I can't think and write at the same time.
You're the walking embodiment of men can't multitask, Angry.
Exactly. Sorry, I just had noticed there was a message from Steve, the bartender, that I had to respond to, because I told him I'd be hit. Did you miss that? He sent me his gin, and I said I'd be tasting it on the stream, and it's very good. But yes, 2 hours flow by. It is 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's bedtime for you because it's a school night, isn't it?
Yeah, for all I'm going to fucking do at work on a Friday when we're all fucking fucked in the head from being fucking locked down. Yes. Sorry, just a message from a friend from when I posted about getting COVID vaccine, saying she just got hers, and I feel like my body's unclenched for the first time since March 2020. It's like, I've got a vaccine. I feel a bit calmer. But it's like, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm registered, and I'm supposed to have gotten my first dose by now because I need to get the Pfizer vaccine. Right. I'm supposed to have had my first jab by now. I got a call the other day saying, hey, you're ready to come in for your jab. And I'm like, yes, tell me a time and a date. And they're like, okay, we need to have a look at your enrollment on this online thing. We can't find your name on the online thing. Well, I enrolled on the online thing. Okay, I need to go talk to my supervisor. I'll call you back. And they never did. So I have no idea what the hell's going on right now.
Yeah.
I have busy end of month work things to do tomorrow on Monday. Next month is the last of the hecticness because we're changing something to make it better. Okay, so Lemmy?
That's promising. Abigail's wondering how you've been lined up to get Pfizer so soon. But
I get the Pfizer because of the rheumatoid arthritis meds make me immunocompromised. And with some heart issues that I've got, I am at a higher likelihood of developing blood clots. So even though the AstraZeneca vaccine, the statistics is that I won't get clots from it, they don't want to take that chance. They want to give me the Pfizer. Otherwise, I would have already had the vaccine. So, yeah.
Oh, and I was also going to say, answer Mofo Science question. Can you be a carrier of the virus if vaccinated? You can contract COVID if you're vaccinated. The vaccines aren't 100%, but what they almost definitely guarantee is you won't get seriously ill, but you absolutely could contract the virus and transmit it to other people, even if you've been vaccinated. That is absolutely possible.
What they're trying to find out with the long-term research on these vaccines is how, if the likelihood of you passing on the virus, if you have contracted it, is the same level or lower chance of passing it on if you've got the vaccine. And if you do pass it on, how bad it might be for the person who gets it, because there could be some evidence, and I can't say this for certain. There could be some evidence that if you do contract it after you've had both jabs and you pass it on, it may not be as bad for the person who contracts it. Maybe. But there's no guarantees of that yet, because this takes literally 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to figure out. So
we will eventually have a big enough data set to know the answer to that question, but we don't know it yet.
Mofo Sign says, do I want to go traveling? Yes, to a certain degree. I would love to go for a trip up to Queensland to see some family. And when this whole vaccination thing is sorted out, one of the things that we've already agreed upon is I'm going to do a trip down south. I'm going to meet up with Abigail, going to meet up with Angry, going to meet up with anybody else that can make it down there. And we're just going to meet up and have a couple of beers and actually catch up face to face, because that'll be fun times and awesome times.
Definitely. And interesting, talking about the vaccine, like the second dose, what Mrs. Angry tells me is there is some research that suggests getting a different vaccine for your second dose is actually better than getting the same one twice. So who knows, in a month or two, I might get a thing saying like, hey, big guy, you got your AstraZeneca a while back. We actually think you should register now and get a Pfizer or a Moderna for your second shot, because we now have evidence that that's actually more effective than 2 doses of the same vaccine, because there's some early evidence that that is the case. So it'll be interesting. Who knows? Who knows what news I'll get in a month or two? Who knows?
All right. Who's putting food in the tucker fucker?
Yeah, as Mrs. Angry is actually slightly thawing some ice cream. That's what's going on there.
Ah, well, that's okay then. As long as you're not cooking in the tucker fucker.
No, but I am going to go to bed now. So,
well, in sign language, it's good night.
All right.
Good night.
See you fine people on the morrow if you're about. Got plans of what I'm going to be making tomorrow night, and we do Angry Bunch and all that sort of fun stuff. But for now, yeah, as we say,